Um, Here with Mitch Baker, Senior Manager of Marketplace Operations. We're going to talk operations and drop trailer a bit today, as well as TaaS. Mitch, I've got 5 questions, so we're going to get right into it. As you're working with 3PLs in particular, and those conversations that you're having with them, what are the most significant operational challenges that typically come up in those conversations with them when they are particularly shifting from a live load model to, they're contemplating getting into drop trailer? What are some of those operational challenges that are kind of coming up with them?
Yeah, so some of the biggest challenges that we see from working with 3PLs are really at a high level. It's just really understanding some of the nuanced requirements of operating a trailer pool network. You know, drop trailer is a complex operating model that's got a lot of moving parts to it. So being able to put focus and have things in place like a maintenance and service strategy, having a trailer pool optimization plan too, having a contingency backup plan, and then also having the right technology stack implemented to your operations to help alleviate some of that operational burden. These are all some of the things that are the complex part about operating this model. And additionally here, it's very resource heavy, right? So being able to plan and understand all of these costs that are associated with operating this type of model is a key challenge here. And then lastly, to add, I would say, there's often a disconnect between the 3PL and the actual drivers that they end up contracting to run this power only drop model. The question that we're constantly asking is, what's really happening on the road with our equipment? And things like having the right technology in place to have that visibility into what's going on with your trailer pool and knowing the health of your pool is absolute key to success of running this type of business, and poses a pretty significant challenge.
Do you find that with those conversations and the challenges that are coming up, is it just due to a lack of experience with the 3PLs not necessarily having much exposure to managing trailer pools? Or do is it as simple as that they're just kind of unaware of how to get into it, so to speak?
Yeah, definitely, Jacob. I would say that, pursuing this type of model, this is for the most part, a lot of the time, 3PLs is the first time they've ever had real assets under management and have really had to pay close attention to the care and overall health of a trailer pool. So navigating that for the first time, it's a challenge. And there's a lot that goes into it that doesn't get thought about, when making the decision to pursue this type of freight, and just being able to manage it. And, additionally, 3PLs have been pursuing, shippers business a certain way for so long. It's a very traditional kind of procurement style. So being able to navigate these RFPs and be able to really kind of decipher what the actual asset requirements are going to be is a big challenge that not a lot of people get right, quite frankly. So being able to have that good plan of how to actually win and pursue the business on top of the actual operations is a big challenge.
Yeah. I want to dig in a little bit to the managed care piece, because I think that's something that is most certainly like unique to 3PLs, and what we're talking about is the management and overall health of the trailer pools. Like, why is maintenance, uptime, and like the managed care piece, it's almost like the operational infrastructure, if you will, like, why is that so critical when it comes to getting a drop trailer solution set up properly?
Yeah, the maintenance and the uptime is really, it's at the foundation for any drop trailer business. I don't care what the nuances are with your operating model. Maintenance and uptime are one and two, at the top of your list for things that you need to care about and pay close attention to. So, every minute that a trailer is out of service and it's not actually being utilized or getting loaded or in transit to a destination here, that's an operating cost that really gets absorbed by you as the 3PL here. So things like having that nationwide service network in place and really staying diligent on a preventative maintenance schedule. Those are things that are key to ensuring that trailers stay on the road and that your maintenance and uptime is maximized.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, with that, I kind of want to actually like back up because it made me think of a different question. But why, when you're in those conversations with 3PLs, like why is drop trailer becoming a more regular conversation and pursuing that type of freight and logistical network setup? Like why are they becoming more and more interested with that?
Sure. So I think that many shippers have really started to realize that by switching operations to be able to support drop trailers and trailer pools at their key facilities, it really eliminates a lot of the bottlenecks that have been really big headwinds in our industry for so many years here. So being able to reduce the amount of wait time for drivers and allowing shippers to have more flexibility with their loading and unloading schedule and being able to pivot when they get backed up and are able to address a trailer and get it unloaded or loaded. So the realization of the benefits has really led to an increase in a lot of conversions from that live freight to drop trailers. And 3PLs and asset-based carriers are really kind of having to adapt in the market to be able to meet those needs and to pursue that business that was traditionally live.
Mhm. Do you find that their own carriers as part of their network, do they see a lot of value in that as well? Like, would they prefer more of a drop trailer solution than it would be live?
Definitely. I mean, for the driver, the benefits are numerous here, but the big one is just the reduction in overall wait time. If you've been in this industry, you've talked to a driver that's got some horror stories for you about waiting, 8 hours at a shipper to get loaded. And with drop trailer, it really reduces and completely eliminates that wait time. And with that, the expense associated with that to the shipper. But for the actual driver, that reduction in wait time is key. It allows them to take more freight in a given period and does not have to deal with the annoyance of waiting any longer than you have to be able to move that trailer and move that load.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So talk to me about like why 3PLs are maybe hesitant to enter this space. What is it that is of concern for them when it comes to, hey, I'm gonna potentially take on more of an asset light business structure, right? It's redefining how they really do business. Like what are some of the hesitancies there as they're like evaluating this type of setup?
Yeah, so it's really just about the kind of barrier of entry, right? Some of the things that we were just discussing, having the right mix of assets in your pool, knowing how to decode and decipher these RFPs to be competitive when pursuing business, managing all of the operating expenses that are associated with this type of operating model, having the supporting headcount there, having the right telematics and technology installed on your trailers. And, the list goes on. There's quite a bit that goes into as far as planning and strategy goes for entering this space. And looking at that challenge and the work that needs to be done to run a successful and efficient drop trailer business, there's a lot. And that, definitely demotivates a lot of 3PLs and other carriers to get involved in this space. It could be, too much for them to take on at the time. So it's a pretty daunting task to look at when you lay everything out that goes into it and what you need to manage and plan for.
Yeah. So let's loop this back to trailers as a service and TaaS, which you oversee the operational side of things there. How does TaaS help simplify that setup and like that barrier to entry? Like what is it for you um, that really helps alleviate some of those concerns when 3PLs are again early stage or maybe they're further along their journey of, hey, managing assets now, it potentially could be something for us.
So what the TaaS program offers is it really provides the team the technology and the process expertise that's needed and required to grow a business that's as operationally complex as drop trailer freight. So our team really empowers the 3PLs and carriers in this world to run as lean as possible, while maximizing those profits and just reducing the overall overhead. So some of the things that our team does to help reduce that barrier of entry here is, we provide you with a dedicated team. So we've got a team that monitor your trailer pool and your different assets that are deployed across the country. We're monitoring them 24/7 to be proactive about the health and just overall status of the pool here. So our team's goal is really to make sure that you never lose out on a load due to trailer quality or a trailer being damaged and not being accepted at the shipper. So we take a lot of the planning and headcount allocation needed out of the requirements to running this type of business through that dedicated team. And additionally, we've got some of the best smart trailers that are out there on the market today. And, we've been able to get to this point where we've got, what we define as one of the best telematics packages on the market, just from trial and error, knowing what works, what's necessary, what's not. And by having that access and visibility into that data, it really empowers our team to be proactive with the management of the pool, that makes sure that, the 3PL never has to worry about monitoring trailers. And lastly, to add, getting access to our nationwide service network. We've got a nationwide service network set up today that has over 2,000 providers. We are coast to coast in all 48 continental states. And we can say with absolute confidence that if you have a trailer that goes down anywhere in the country, we can get somebody out there quickly to get the trailer fixed, and to make sure that you don't disrupt any of the freight operations and you're able to deliver or pick up that load.
Yeah, I love it. And I want to actually go back to one other point, because I know it's important to hit on, is like the RFP piece to it as well. Can you speak to how TaaS from a trailer capacity solution is a bit unique with the RFP process for 3PLs and the role that it can potentially play in that bidding process?
Yeah, so for us, we've got tooling that's included as part of your TaaS subscription that allows you, we actually call it the RFP calculator. And what it does is it allows you to quickly identify some of those drop trailer requirements within a particular RFP. So the tool allows you to enter some basic lane information, and we take all the math, behind the scenes and give you an output, which is the total number of trailers that are actually needed to pursue that business. And we give you a per load cost that's associated with it. So for us, the goal of this tool is to empower 3PLs and carriers to be able to pursue drop trailer freight without wasting money on unnecessary assets, and also by being able to quote the most accurate pricing for that particular lane or that RFP. And that's just the freight procurement process. But after that, we continue to support 3PLs and carriers by offering a flexible model. So we often realize that, when you're pursuing a particular RFP, there's a difference between, what's awarded volume and what's realized volume. And a lot of the time you win an award and the realization, doesn't hit the expectations or doesn't align with what the actual award was. So our model is flexible. And it allows you to kind of change the number of trailers that are in your pool to match what that lane and that business's needs are.
Gotcha. I love it. Well, I'm going to give you the parting words in terms of, if I'm a 3PL, I'm looking at, typically with growth, it's either I'm going to go the 4PL route and get involved in technology and develop my own SaaS solution, or there's potentially the asset light approach. What makes TaaS unique from your point of view, most unique for 3PL providers, especially amid tough market, but positioning for future success? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say that our solution really, it just empowers your team just to focus on the growth and pursuing the business, the the items that are going to make your business grow and allow you to become profitable. And we do that by some of the things that I mentioned earlier, like having that dedicated team on site. Most of the people on our team come from broker experience, so they know exactly what to look for. And we really, really pride ourselves in being a part of your business or an extension of your business. We look at onboarding a lot differently than most other people do. And we really take the time to know the nuances of your business so we can be proactive and make sure that your team really never has to worry about managing trailers. We take the headache out of it and just allows you to pursue business and grow your business at the same time there. So for us, that's what the program's about, right? How do we make it easier for more people to get involved in drop trailer business? And what are some of those biggest pain points that we can alleviate? And the TaaS program addresses all of those.
Awesome. I appreciate the time.
Of course. Thanks, Jacob.
All right.